Hello, my fellow libertarian and Facebook people. I am RJ Brim with FroLiberty. We're here with Mr. Danny Bedwell, who is a candidate for our Senate. And I went to ontheissues.org and picked 21 questions, 21 issues that the site says that people here in Mississippi want to talk about. I'm going to ask him about 11 of them, and we'll see how he does. Mr. Bedwell, what is your stance on welfare and poverty here in our state?
Wow. Poverty here in our state's, it's an issue. We've got, I think Mississippi is one of the poorest states in the nation.
Okay.
And there's many ways that we can address that. You know, we've lost a lot of jobs overseas. We've lost a lot of income. Most American or Mississippi families, they've lost a lot of income from various taxes and the various fees, user fees and licenses that just in order to cut hair, you know, you have to pay the state a whole bunch of money and then they tax you again. So it prohibits, you know, mom and pop from opening a barbershop, for example.
Right.
So this is something we have to do is we have to minimize the regulations. We have to minimize the taxes and let the American family keep more of their money and govern how they use it. And I think if we can develop a system like that, it will address the poverty issue here.
Okay. Another hot button issue that has been in national headlines lately, and here in Mississippi, is immigration.
Yeah, immigration. You know, back in the 1930s, 20s, we had Ellis Island, and I think they processed 20 million immigrants through Ellis Island in a 20-year period. And we're talking big cruise ships would pull up to the dock and 5,000 immigrants would get off, and it would cost about $25 in today's money. It cost about $25 and take about 4 hours to process people into the country.
Okay.
Right now it takes people 6 years and about $6,000 in order to be processed into the country. We've got to change that, and I would like to make immigration easier. It has to be, the reason people are sneaking across the border is we've made it almost impossible to come here legally. You know, if the drug cartels, our drug war, if the drug cartels find out that their mule wants to run away to America, he's going to kill him and his family. And if I was a Mexican, for example, and somebody's trying to threaten my family, kill my family, and the government in Mexico is powerless to stop it, like they are against the cartels, yes, I would sneak across the desert in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And bring my family with me.
Mississippi, especially South Mississippi, has been hit hard with job losses. What would you do to bring jobs back here to Mississippi?
We've done really good. The state legislature here in Mississippi has done really good with corporate tax rates, getting rid of them. And that's a good step, but it's only a step. There's several other things we have to do. I talked a little while ago in the previous answer that our regulatory climate here, to where you have to jump through hoops. A small family that wants to open a barbershop, for example, there's so many licenses and testing, and they have to get certified through the Board of Cosmetology and pay them money, and every year pay them money. And it's prohibitive to these families, and they can't do it. So one way we bring jobs back is we reduce and eliminate these unnecessary regulatory burdens and allow Mississippians to go to work if they want to go to work. There's incentives we can do to bring in large corporations. I don't agree with giving large corporations tax breaks or special sweetheart deals, you know, done in private and behind closed doors, which happens. So, yeah, there's things we can do to bring jobs back, and this is something we have to do.
Okay. One of the things that I think Mississippi takes a hit on, or at least the perception is technology here in our state. What is your kind of plan for that?
You know, technology's only as good as your wisdom to use it correctly. I don't buy into the argument that Mississippi is behind in technology. We've got a lot of aerospace industry up in the Golden Triangle area, and They manufacture different parts for, unmanned vehicles.
Right.
There is a push, and it's really just a boondoggle for farmers out in the Delta. And it is what they call increase or improve broad-based Wi-Fi out in the Delta.
Right.
The reason they're doing that is these large farmers, their tractors now are connected through Wi-Fi and their GPS systems, and they're high-tech tractors, and they need high-speed broadband in order to run these tractors in areas where there's very few residents.
Okay.
And there's a push to take some of everyone's money through taxes and provide these broadband services for the farmers in the Delta. And I would oppose that type, even though it is technology. It's unnecessary. A few rich farmers out in the Delta might need it, but they can also afford to pay for it. So.
Okay. One of the things I think everybody worries about, or at least what everybody talks about, is since 9/11, everybody's kind of been worried about homeland security. Are we safe? That sort of thing. Would you like to speak to that?
Sure. Yeah, I think we're safe. There's very few that gets through our intelligence service. We've taken some hits over our surveillance laws and violations of the Fourth Amendment, but I think that the surveillance state that we've created, they're very good at intercepting traffic, whether it's, on social media or homing pigeons. I mean, they're good at intelligence. So I think America's pretty safe from foreign attack.
Okay.
I'm against the surveillance state as well, though.
Okay. What do you think can be improved, or from your position in the Senate, could do to help our education system?
I got in trouble for this answer up at Iuka at the Heritage Festival, and they accused me of not liking children or not being against education. But my solution, step one, would be to defund and dismantle the federal Department of Education, and then put the funding and all the decision-making authority for how the money is spent, put it back at the state level. And then from there, we want to try to get it from the state level to the county level or to the individual school district level, and let parents make the decision on how their education dollars are spent, what it's spent on, and give them complete decision-making authority over the education of their children.
Okay, well, one of the kind of odd but interesting questions on the site was, as a senator, as a man, as a business owner, how do your core principles and value translate into how you legislate?
Wow, that's a very good question. It's going to get into a little bit of philosophy, but we live in a republic, not a democracy.
Right.
And I think it is unethical. I think it is immoral to gang up on someone and take their stuff, or gang up on them and impose your will onto them. Whether you do it in a dark alley somewhere or you do it at a ballot box with a vote. If you do it on the floor of the Senate, it's still immoral to gang up on someone and impose your will onto them or take their stuff. So, how would I, in a republic, the minority of opinion, they're supposed to be protected from the majority. So you can't outnumber people.
God,